Google's in news in India for a different reason altogether, because starting tomorrow the government will start taking a levy on every payment that goes out from an Indian company that crosses 1 lakh for online advertising services to a non-resident entity. Now remember, Google has been the biggest beneficiary of the e-commerce boom because of the huge surge that this has led to in terms of online advertising and digital advertising. We caught up with Google India's director, Nitin Bawankule. We began by asking him about the insights from a Google AT Kearney study on digital retail in India, and we of course also asked him about this all-important Google tax. Take a listen.
Consumer interest is very high, and this industry from $15 billion last year will go to $60 billion at least by 2020. So 4x growth in the GMV. That's the first message. So, and it will be 25% of the overall organized retail. That's the first message. I think the second message which came out very clearly was that the number of shoppers currently, which is pegged at around 50 million shoppers online, will go to 175 million in the next 5 years. So that's more than 3x in the next 5 years.
As far as the FDI and marketplaces norms are concerned, a lot of the top e-tailers are also saying that they don't track GMV as a metric anymore. So how did that really influence your study, and did you have to really reassess the data or the metrics that you were using during the course?
So very clearly the growth rate is slowing down, not primarily because of any discounting or changes in FDI, I think, but I think one, the industry is maturing, and as the rapid growth which we saw the last 5 years will definitely not continue because the industry is maturing over the consumers are realizing the benefits of that. I think the FDI regulation really does not change anything, because what's happened is most of the players in this...
Even in terms of the curb on discounts?
So I think the curb on discounts, I don't know whether FDI regulation is the reason for curb on discounts. I think as such most of the players had realized that this discounting is not going to help them to retain the consumer. It is not sustainable, it's not the profitable way of growth. So we'll see a sizable growth. So if you really see 50 million to 175 million is 3x growth in shoppers, 15 billion to 60 billion is 4x growth in GMV, which I think is a very sizable growth despite whatever hurdles if you are talking about.
Right. And your thoughts on the Google tax which is kicking off tomorrow? The ministry has just given a notification.
So honestly we came to know about it yesterday, so we are just thinking about it. We'll let you know in the next few days.
Finally, any risks that you see in the projections that you've given today? Any risks? Because we are already seeing the market becoming very subdued now, funding coming down, and there is a talk of consolidation taking off big time. So any risks that you see to the current model?
So if you ask me if you ask me whether there is a risk to the number which you have called, I don't think so, because I think what we have called are numbers which are very practical. It's on the basis of consumer feedback. As I clearly said, irrespective whether there is a discount or not, consumers will still shop primarily because of the assortment, convenience, and a wide range of brands which are available. So I think from a numbers perspective, I don't see a risk. The only risk which can be there just in case is if the infrastructural challenges continue in India, which are like, for example, if telecom network still doesn't take off.
Or if the mobile penetration doesn't.
Yeah, so that can be a risk, but otherwise I don't think so. But we are very confident
apart
that...
from broad insights, any specific insights that you also drew in terms of the companies or the way the market share has evolved?
So I wouldn't talk about market share of the companies, but I would say if you had to ask me specific insights, I would say the categories are going to be very defining. One, obviously baby care and lifestyle. Second is beauty and cosmetics. I think these two categories, and the third is obviously home furnishings and furniture. These categories, whoever is in these three categories is going to grow rapidly over the next 3 to 5 years.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.